Hi, my name is Trinity, and today I'm going to be talking about a really interesting tool called Google Classroom. It is a free classroom tool used to make assigning, viewing, and grading your students' work a lot easier. If you've ever used Canvas, Edmodo, or Blackboard, it's a lot like that. However, it is a lot easier to use with other Google things like Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides, stuff like that. How can it benefit us as teachers, you may be wondering? Well, it's paperless for one. That is something that I am a huge believer in. I always try to cut down on paper because, we got to save the planet. It's a big time saver. I like it because you can just upload all your stuff from Google and it's super quick, super easy. And it also will send out emails to your students saying that, oh, you just have a new assignment. Next and most importantly, it makes it really, really easy to connect with your students. Like I said, everything is through Google, so you can email them or you can post on their own personal page, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. And lastly, it's really easy to use data analysis because it has a really cool tool where you can just enter it all into a Google Sheet and grade that way. So let's talk about creating our Google Classroom. Now, you're going to want to come up to the hamburger icon in your browser. Unfortunately, Vimeo won't show it in a new browser, but you're going to come up here and you'll click this little icon called Classroom. If you don't have Google Chrome, it's okay. You'll just go to classroom.google.com. But you do have to have a Gmail to have it set up, so you'll need to make sure you make that before. Also, if you are an actual educator planning on using this with your students, you'll have to have a G Suite for Education account set up. And that basically just talks about what your school district allows their students to use Google-wise. Okay, so let's set up our Google Classroom. So once you're on the Google website, you're going to click this little plus button up here and click Create Class. Now, this is basically asking if I have a G Suite, but because I'm not using it with actual students, I'm going to say I'm not using a classroom at a school. So I'm going to hit continue. And then this little window will pop up here. And this is where we put our class name, the section, all that good information. So just for pretend, I'm going to put English 10, section 02, subject. Now, Google has a lot of pre-written out subjects, but you can always put in your own. And then my room is online, so I'm just going to hit create. So it can take a couple seconds, but once you hit create, it'll begin curating your Google Classroom. So let's let this load for a minute. And here we are in our actual classroom. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to kind of customize it a little bit. So you're going to click either select theme or upload photo. This is going to be like your background and then the colors on your classroom. So I personally, my favorite is this cute little one with the tent, but there's a lot of cool different ones that you can go through. And if you don't really like any of them, you can always upload a photo from your own laptop. Now let's talk about our settings. So to start our settings, you're going to click this little gear icon up here at the top. And it has your details, which you can change at any time. You can add a description to your class. This is kind of like the invite stuff, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So this is important right here, the stream, classwork on the stream, and deleted items. So the stream, if you have younger students, I would put only teachers can post, so your students aren't posting their own stuff to your classroom stream and messing it up. I personally like the students can only comment one, so that students can't post their own stuff to your classroom, but they can still ask you questions in the comments or put their work in the comments if they aren't able to get it turned in on time. Also, showing condensed notifications is a really good way to keep everything nice and neat and tidy. So once you click on an assignment, it'll expand, but until then, it's just a little icon. And some teachers like to see the deleted items, some don't. I personally don't, so I like to keep that off. Now, grading is also very important. I'm going to move my little icon up here. So this is kind of how you will have your grade calculation on your classroom. Now your school may do it differently, but I personally like to have it weighted by category. Some people do total points. Category is just easiest for me. And if you want your students to see their overall grade, you can turn that on or off. But grade categories, you can add as many categories as you want. for an example, I'm going to do 4. I'm going to do homework, assignments, projects, and quizzes, actually. And my quizzes are going to be worth 40 points. My projects are going to be 20. My assignments are going to be 15. Oh, not 150. 15. Or no, these are going to be 25. Oh, I cannot type today. And then my homework is going to be 15%. So your categories are how your grades are going to be set up, and once you put your assignments in the certain categories, it will grade them accordingly. So once you're done, you're going to hit save. Obviously, yours don't have to be the same as mine. Mine is just an example. So this is kind of the main page of your Google Classroom, and once you start uploading things, they'll show up here. You can just announce anything here. Yeah, I have other classes archived, and you can create announcements or respond to your students' post, and you will see all the work due up here. It's kind of like a to-do bar. So the students have it and you have it, which is very nice. So the classwork part is where you can upload your assignments. You can link a Google Calendar and a class drive folder. I think these are very helpful and useful. And this is where you're going to upload all your assignments. So you have a couple different types. You have your assignment, you have a quiz assignment, a question, your material, a reuse post, and a topic. So your assignments are going to be basically your general assignments. So let's just put example assignment. And you can either make your own instructions here, or you can put a Google Drive thing here if you already have an example assignment ready to go, and you'll hit insert. And then here, because this is an assignment, you're going to click the assignment category that you created before for your grading. And if you only want certain students to see it, I don't have anybody added to my classroom yet, so you can click only certain students, or it'll go to all. And then your due date, obviously you can put it anytime. I'm going to put it for the 21st at 11:59. And then your topics, this is how your Google Classroom will be organized. So some people like to do topics like modules, like this is how my due dates are, this is how you'll work throughout the classroom. Some people like to do it based on the type of assignment, and other people like to do it just kind of like topic-wise, like, okay, so right now we're talking about Romeo and Juliet, and then our next topic will be Great Gatsby, you know, just kind of stuff like that. So for this, I'm going to put assignments just as my example topic. Okay, and then you're going to hit assign, and that will show up on your classroom stream and in your classwork folder. The students also have this folder, so they'll be able to see everything there. And kind of the same thing for quizzes. You can do the same thing. Questions, it's exactly as it sounds. You can ask your students a question, it'll send it out, and you can actually kind of put like multiple choice, or they can comment, put a short answer, a paragraph question, whatever you feel. Material is just a good place to upload your materials like YouTube videos, textbook PDFs if you have them, any sort of file. And reusing a post is really good. So if you have archived classes before, or you have more than one class starting out, you can go in your old archived class and see all of your assignments and questions. So let's say I want to upload quiz 1 to this class. So I'm going to reuse it, wait for it to load. It can take a minute, and then I can actually schedule it. So let's put a due date really quick. We're going to put the 20th, and we're going to put it in quizzes. Everything looks good, and I'm actually going to schedule it because I don't want them to see it right now. So I'm going to schedule it. Oh, I need to select a grading category. We're going to put quizzes, and we're going to schedule it to post on February 16th. At 8 a.m. So they'll see that day, and then it'll have the due date. And your things that aren't posted yet will be gray, and the things that are posted and ready for students to work on will be whatever color you chose for your theme. Mine is blue. So the People tab is where all your students will be. You can see yourself, any TAs you have, and all your students. And then your grades will be all the grades you have for your students for that class. Now, if you click the little 3-line icon up here, you can see all the classes you have, your Google calendars, and this is a very useful tool. This is your To Review tab. So it'll show all the things you need to grade and what you have graded in the reviewed folder. Let's see, I believe that is all I have to show you right now, aside from adding your students. So we'll go here, back to our normal class. And to add your students into your class, you can either send them an invite link through your settings, which is right here. You can click that little button right here and it'll copy it. Or you can still do this in your settings. You can display your class code if your students are in person, and they can enter that into their Google Classroom account and join your class. Or if you don't want to go all the way into your settings, it's displayed right here in the beginning. So that is all I have for you guys. Please let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will try to answer as many as possible. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.